I'm Lady T506. Welcome to my channel. Hello everyone's. I am here for Black Lightning Season 2 Episode 7. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning and you're one of my peoples, one of the family members, welcome back. So we have Black Lightning. He is still following this liquid metal leading back to Looker, because last episode, once some of the people got shot, the liquid metal that was inside of them goes back to their source, which is Looker. So he's like steady at like a slow pace, like finding it. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's on the ground. It didn't roll over leaves and dirt. Does she really need that back in her body and back in her system? You would just think that was an infection waiting to happen. Like, I know this is a show and it doesn't really work like that, but that's how my mind kept on wanting to think of it like that. But he sees a few of, I guess it was the Purdy hanging from the tree. And one of the dudes looked like the man who was like, I guess, Anaya's boyfriend, or he thought, they was together and she got pregnant by Deacon, the one who killed Deacon. We see him hanging from a tree. We see a few other people, but I couldn't really make out who it was. Then, like, the liquid metal gang, some of the members, they're out scouting, looking like what's going on out here. And, they're looking for the baby. And, like, one of them hears a noise in the woods. Now, me, I am a firm believer of never investigate a strange noise. Like, it's nighttime for them. They're in the woods. Like, this strange noise, nothing good can come out of this strange noise. So, Black Lightning, he still has on his Black Lightning suits. And he goes into, like, camouflage mode. But finally dude was like almost right next to Black Lightning and they get to fighting, but since they can go super fast, they kind of take over him and he gets like knocked over the head and get knocked out. So I was like, this is not good, because they take off his suit, they're gonna know who he is and he's gonna be exposed as Jefferson Pierce, that's Black Lightning. We can't have that out here. Detective Henderson, he's already figured this out, and we don't need more people figuring out that he's actually Black Lightning. But Anissa told him, like, Dad, like, maybe you shouldn't really be out there. Like, this is not safe. You're always telling me, be cautious, and look what happens to him. Jennifer goes to see Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. I still do not know her name, so I will continue to call her Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, because she's dealing with these feelings for Khalil. Like, what if I accidentally zap him into oblivion? We talking and bam, he's up in flames because of my powers. My parents, they're so wanting me to have a normal life that they're not letting me live at all. She's feeling trapped. Just only time I can go outside is when I'm having a session with you, where I can walk around the block for an hour a day. She basically feels like she's in prison. She doesn't know she doesn't know what to do. It's like no one understands what she's going through. Yeah, Anissa / Thunder, she has her powers, but her powers are basically she's extra strong. Okay, and I can knock over stuff with my foot or with my hand. Black Lightning / Jefferson, he can zap stuff, but he can keep his contained. If she gets too upset and doesn't exert this energy, she's just gonna be floating somewhere beautifully, I might add, but just be out here floating into a ball of pretty. And like no one is going through this but me. Yes, not my mom, but my sister and my father have powers, but they don't have powers like this, and there's nobody that I can talk to about this. My parents, they're still hovering on me. She just doesn't know what to do. Looker tells Black Lightning that she has been a fan of his for years. She actually modeled herself after him. I was like, I don't really understand that, because you were having these people under your control to do certain things that you want them to do. He's not doing that, but she figures like you keep crime off the street in Freeland and getting drugs off the street. I do the same thing as well. I've cleaned these people up. Yeah, granted, I have them under my spell as my little minions, but we're the same people. But he's like, no, you're racist. Like, how am I racist? Well, you have this Confederate flag in the background. She doesn't understand, like, you can have I'm black and I'm proud shirt on, and it's fine. But if I have a I'm white and I'm proud shirt on, I'm racist. I understood what she was saying, but then again, it was like, when you say it certain ways, it's kind of like, really? But I get where she's coming from. How can you be proud of being a black American, but if I'm saying I'm proud to be a white American, everybody looking at me like I'm racist? How come I can't be proud of my heritage? Like, what's up with that? But she's sitting there talking, and then like she like gets this sense like, oh my goodness, I can feel this other baby. We need to leave right quick and see, like, get this other baby. Now I don't know what she was going to do with the babies. This is what I was nervous, I was scared. I was like, what's she gonna do? Because it seemed like she don't really like black people, even though she's like, you Black Lightning, you was my superhero, you know, I was a fan of yours. But question, Looker has been in the town for 30 years. Homegirl looks like she 24. So does she got some of this what Tobias got going on where she don't age? Because it's like they super fast, almost like what vampires are. So is this what she is? Is she a vampire? But like, we don't suck blood. Like, I just got this meal on myself. I don't really know. But all I'm saying is she still looks young. Like if she been here for 30 years, just, you know, controlling people's minds and all. Lynn is giving Anaya and the baby a quick once over. You know, there's, you know, you didn't actually have an actual board certified doctor. You know, you had my daughter give you, you know, help you get birth and all. I want to take the baby. Okay, let me get a little bit of the blood off the umbilical cord. And she wipes it and throw it away. But that metal substance that Anissa had got out of Deacon, why she still has it, I don't know. It kind of like not crawls, but it was in a tube. It kind of like is going over there towards the blood, and Anissa saw it and Lynn saw it. So they like, okay, we're gonna go over here and do something, girl. We be right back. Like, girl, what is going on? She's like, I don't know, Mom. It's like they did Sanji, and she don't know what Sanji is. It's this liquid metal that Looker be controlling people with. That's what's going on. That metal was attracted to the blood for some reason. I'm not really sure. They really didn't get into that. But we know it was very, very disturbingly creepy. So Looker has Jefferson, or I guess he's Black Lightning. Well, I guess he didn't have a suit on, so he's Jefferson, like on some kind of electric fence. And I apologize. I said that she went just the last scene she was in when she was talking about him. But, you know, they have him on an electrical fence, and she's just sitting there and just, okay, give him some more shots. And me thinking they don't know him for real like that. I'm like, you guys aren't really hurting him. The effects were cool because like you could see like the lightning like go into his veins and all that stuff. He's like, charge him up some more. And this is when, you know, she has this feeling like, oh my goodness, I can sense the baby. Let's go. Just go ahead and crank that up and just leave it on. He gonna die, so we don't really need him. He gonna be out the way. But I was like, I don't think that's such a good idea, because I think you're just actually helping him. And it was true, because he's sitting up there just looking like he's dead, being charged up for a few minutes or however long it was. And it's like, we can just cut it off, he's dead. And he was like, I hear that, baby, or whatever he said. He's like, yeah, the suit isn't what gives me my powers. Like, what did he say? My powers don't come from the suit, but thanks for the charge, dude. And like zaps the mess out of them. And he goes in the other room, and the baby's just there by itself. Just like baby just fresh into this world. They just they wrap the baby up and all, but like we not having, I know the baby couldn't actually roll nowhere and couldn't move or anything like that, but y'all left this newborn fresh into the world baby just laying there on this chair. Like, really, we're not gonna have nobody watch the baby, you know, give the baby a bottle, you know, anything like that. So Jefferson, he scoops up the baby and he lets Anissa know that Looker and her crew were on the way there. Somehow she didn't sense the baby, and like her and the baby had some kind of telekinesis thing going on to where she know where the baby is and they on their way. So he goes to take the baby over there to Detective Henderson's house. Detective Henderson is in for the night. He's sleeping. He getting wake up call. He get to the door. It's Black Lightning holding the baby, talking about something. You babysit this baby right quick so I can go out here and fight crime. It was like, what? It's 3 a.m, sir. But he takes the baby and lets him know that the baby needs a diaper change. So you might want to get to that right quick, okay? Khalil and Jen meet up. He's like, have you ever had caviar? She's like, caviar? What you talking about? You know, you need a man who can afford caviar. Tobias told me that, you know, you're a real man or something like that when you can afford caviar without having to think about how much it costs. But I guess caviar is not for me. I've never had it, but it doesn't look like it's the most pleasant thing. It looks slimy. So anyways, he's like, it's not going to end with Tobias, because Tobias, like, either you kill the Reverend or I kill you. Take your pick. And he's like, he has nowhere to go. He doesn't want to be like Tobias. I was like, I don't think Tobias wants to be like Tobias. I was like, Tobias got too much going on. Like, for real, like, you need to sit your whole entire tail down somewhere. But he's like, he don't want to hurt the Reverend, but the Reverend is just not listening. Like, I tried to warn the Reverend, like, Reverend, I don't want to hurt you. I already choked you out and had you hanging up in the air. I don't want to do that again. So can you please just leave town? And Reverend doesn't want to do that. But she's like, you're going to have to find another way. And then just leave town. Like, you know, get the Reverend squared out and then you leave town. But I was like, I don't know where you're going to go. Because Tobias is like, he got like people all over the world that contract Khalil, which we see him in. Like, Khalil, he goes to the Reverend, like, Reverend, look, I don't want to kill you, but Tobias wants you dead. So it would be best if you would just leave town. Like, I don't want to hurt you. But he's like, you are not a killer, young man, but I will blow you all the way into the grave if you come up to me again. Yeah, Reverend had the gun and everything. Like, you already had me choked out, like, hemmed up in the air and through me. And you know I have a cane that I need to walk with. So you, sir, you need to go somewhere. He's like, I'm not afraid of Tobias. That's your problem that you are, okay? So you go on about here. I'm not afraid of Tobias, okay? Whatever happens is in the Lord's hand. I was like, okay, help. I just knew that the Reverend was going to die at any point. I'm sorry, y'all, I got my scarf on because it's yet again cold. But, like, at the end of the week, it's going to be in the 70 degrees. But I'm trying my best not to talk about this weather. I'm just not going to give it that much attention. But anyways, so Tobias leaving up at the church. And Tobias rolls up. I'm like, he must have a tracker on him. There's no other way. You just roll by the church and you see Khalil and he trying to get Khalil to get in the car, but Khalil's like, nope. And he used his track and field skills and like take off running. Ended up in some alley. He's calling Jen, like, Jen, I just ran from Tobias. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. But she was like, you know, just calm down. She's like, I'm going to help you. Just tell me where you are and I'm going to be on the way. I was like, Jen, I didn't want Jen to get hurt because I was like, she was going to get hurt in the crossfire. She's like, you wouldn't leave me, so I'm not going to leave you. So he's sitting there hiding, and Tobias, his goons show up. You know, they got a tracker on his phone. They just tracking his phone in the alley. And the next thing you know, like, all the lights like get broken off. I was like, okay, I thought it was Black Lightning at first because, you know, he can kind of do that. Or I was like, maybe it's Uncle Gamby. He kind of figured that Jen was in trouble. He was it broke into her phone? That's not the word I'm looking for. Hacked into her phone and realized what was going on. But no, it was Jennifer. She was like, Khalil, follow my voice. And I was like, what? But on my closed caption, they didn't call her Jen and they didn't call her Jennifer. They called her Lightning. I was like, ooh, I got so excited. So Khalil, he like hops up 2 stories and like goes into this room and like the door closes. It's like, Jen, I can't see you. And she was like, can you see me now? And it was like a ball of like, you know, fire, lightning. It was a ball of pretty. And she's like, can you see now? And he's looking like, whoa. You were like making a ball of like lightning and beautifulness just like in your hand. I'm like, I don't want Tobias to find this out. I'm scared that one of his minions is going to come in and see this. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was kind of happy, but then I was scared at the same time how Khalil was going to take it. So a fight breaks out between Thunder, Looker, and Looker's crew. And Thunder, she was holding her own for a minute, but you know, they super fast. So, you know, she can't really get everybody. Like, she did the whole, and like stomped the ground and everybody kind of flew back. But then like she was fighting like Looker, and she was winning for a minute, but then like the super, you know, fast crew, they was getting the best of her. And they say no, Looker got Thunder all choked out from the back, and you know she's fit to do something, but like it's like she was struggling with her, like using her fingers to do the little liquid stuff, like she was struggling that. Then Black Lightning came in and zapped Crew away, and she kind of got startled, and this is when Thunder like got all her force and just like threw her against the wall. They just happened to have a pole hanging out, and like all her liquidness came out. She's not dead, but like all the liquid power came out, and that like broke the spell that these people was under, because Black Lightning was like, what is going on? See, this is the craziness that I was talking about. Just like, it's fine that everybody woke up like, how did I get here? There's a man in a suit, a superhero suit, and a girl in a superhero suit, and I don't even know how I got here. And she's trying to explain to them that she was using like theta waves and how it's with the brain. It can control your language and your sleep and all this other stuff. I was confused. Black Lightning was confused. But he says we need to like turn her over to the ASA because they're the only ones that could help her. Yes, they're the ones that are, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Experimenting, if you will, on the metahumans, but like she kind of deserved it. She was being very awful. So yeah, we're gonna turn her over to the ASA. Gambi is in his hotel room when Jefferson knocks on the door. He's like, you left something in the woods. He's like, yeah. He's like, you've never been known to leave evidence behind. It's like, yeah, it might have happened when that drone crashed. He was like, if you want to hit me, that's fine. Because Jefferson's like, I don't know if I want to hit you or hug you. Like, what is wrong with you? He's like, I don't know who tried to kill me, and I want to keep your family safe. So it's best if your family thinks I'm dead. And he was like, oh man, don't you realize now that you my family? I was like, yeah. He is like your daddy, like, you know, I guess not adoptive daddy, but like, you know, he a father figure to you. Gambi family, like, no, we need you here. But he was like, I understand what's going on. So Lynn goes home and Jennifer's just gone. Like her, you know, you supposed to be in at a certain time. You get your little session with Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. You get to walk around the neighborhood for an hour, and you need to bring your tail on back home. Like, where is she at? So they go visit Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, and she's like, I don't know where she's at, but I think she's with a boy. Basically, she lets them know she has powers like unlike anything she's ever seen. Y'all think that Black Lightning is powerful. No, Jen is like up here, he's down here. She's something else. Like, I've never in my whole existence of life seen anything like it. So you got to be careful. If you push her farther away and she retreats with her powers with no support system or guidance, we'll all suffer the consequences. Like, I don't know what that means. I mean, like, she can blow up the world. I needed you to elaborate more on that. Like, how are we all going to suffer these consequences? So we see Jen and we see Khalil, and they just talking. She was like, you know, I basically have I have fire coming out of my hands. I'm a freak. And he's like, do you think I'm a freak? I have a metal in my spine and I have poison in my vein. And he gets to talking shit like, nobody's like me. And he was kind of like alluding like, is your family like that? And she like paused. And he's looking like, are they? She's like, did your mom, can she shoot out like, does she have metal in her spine? And she has poison in her veins? Can she shoot like tranquilizer to people? So these two, next thing we see them, they riding off into the sunset. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that looked like a Georgia background, like Atlanta, Georgia background. Now, I don't know if they said where they're from, but that looks like a Georgia background. Atlanta, Georgia. I've rode through Atlanta several times, and that looks like an Atlanta, Georgia background. So, I thought this was going to be like the winter finale, but next week, it looks like it's something else. So, you guys, if I left anything, oh yeah, Anaya, she went home with the babies, but her mom died. I was like, what happened? Like, I know several people died, and when they saw the daddy at the grave, I was like, oh, please not to be the mama. Like, not that anybody else deserved to die, but I was like, now she's gonna feel guilty. Like, if I had never got pregnant by Deacon, then my mama would still be here. But the daddy, he seemed like he's, you know, welcoming of her and these two babies. So that was good. So if I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment or video response. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. If you're returning and you are already one of my people, you know, You the family over here. Welcome back. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.